What is going on, guys? I want to welcome each and every one of you back to the QA Gaming channel. If you are new here, then welcome to the Q&A crew. First off, I just want to thank everybody for all the great feedback that we had on the first video. Obviously, we're going to put it onto practice, or as much as possible, into this video. So the first thing was the length. I do realize that was a bit of a long first video, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep this one here below 10 minutes. That seems to be what most people were saying. Hey, cut it in half and it'll feel a whole lot better for the viewer. So let's try rocking that out. Now the second thing would be our side panels here, which people were saying, you know what, if it was a bit more relevant to the conversation, the topic at hand, most people would probably be more just visually pleased, right? So as you can see, today's topic is the upcoming changes with the Buu saga, the Super Saiyan transformation for Shalit. We've got Ssj Shallot on the way. We've got Gotenks. What I want to actually focus on maybe a bit more here is the Buu. Now, unless you've been living under a rock since this morning, I guess maybe not too many people saw it, but if you've done the missions in game, you saw that the daily was actually Gogeta's Stardust attack. Now, if you're familiar with that movie, we know that Pycon, even in his animation, actually, let's just go over and pull him up here. He's actually seen with Gogeta, so a lot of people actually had an idea that he would be in the game at some point. There's no reason not to. So let's just pull him up here. Where is he? So now, if I pull him up and head into his animation and just tilt forward, there he is. So now I want to talk about this specific point that they're bringing up, because a lot of people have been saying that Pycon's problem is that he doesn't have any supporting tags. Kind of a selfish unit right now, not really offering much. Now the Buu makes things interesting because he would be another otherworldly character, right? So if we just pull back out here and we head into our show details, we see that this otherworld warrior, this tag here, is kind of lonely right now. Now the Buu would fit into that tag, right? Now talking about the Buu saga, talking about the movie, we're gonna have a whole bunch of new characters that are going to be coming in. And speaking specifically about Gogeta, where there's Gogeta, there is Janemba. So obviously, just like Pycon, he would be another worldly warrior. So now Super Saiyan Shalit, this is where it gets interesting, because we're looking at something that is really just untouched in the game so far, specifically because people are saying that it looks like he's transforming. So if you look at that right panel on the bottom, you see him kind of powering up, I guess is what you would call it. So if that's an in-game transformation, this opens up the door to all kinds of awesome stuff for the future, right? We're talking about Zarbon transforming. We're talking about maybe even the Goku going Super Saiyan 3 mid-fight for a short period of time, so it matches the actual Dragon Ball storyline. We can have all kinds of interesting interactions if they're going to start introducing stuff like that to make, I guess, main abilities feel a bit more interactive, as opposed to just kind of getting a buff or getting a card or something like that. Being able to activate something to then use those abilities, then I think that would make the game a whole lot more interesting. Like I say, hopefully we get new game modes in the future. So overall, I think that this is going to be really healthy for the game. Now, as for how Super Saiyan Shallot is going to happen, I personally am really hoping that what we see on the right hand side of that panel, that there are missions which will lead us there. I would not like to just be, oh, here's a new card that you just get for no reason, or by the way, you're at this point in the game, so here you go, now you can transform. I would like to have some kind of event to complete, some kind of storyline to follow. So it really feels like when Goku first transformed to a Super Saiyan, right? You went through the whole Ginyu Force arc, then he gets beat up, and then you see him come back against Frieza and Vegeta the whole time thinking he was already a Super Saiyan, and then sure enough it takes Krillin dying again for him to transform. So I'm hoping we get some kind of arc where he just gets pushed into a corner and transforms finally, right? Now, as far as this update going live and them introducing friendships and the move sets that you can teach Shalit, right? So the idea is that he would go Super Saiyan and his main ability would give him access to different special moves, or at least we hope that's how things are going to work out, right? I kind of want to take a look at what I personally am farming right now, and that I think would be great to have on a potential Shalit that is useful in the game. Now obviously if you're farming, let's go back here. We're going to pull up this story here, select story, and we're going to go to part 2 and all the way down. Now book 1 is where you want to be farming, so I believe it's chapter 2 to 9. I personally have been using chapter 2. It's nice and easy, not too high levels, and you can just kind of one-shot each of them, and it gives 900 friendship. So here we go, level up. Here we're 3 bars away, and I'll explain to you why I'm working on the 17 and the Kid Gohan in just a second. So let's go over to Broli, and I can kind of show you guys this synergy that I'm talking about. So let's go character list, and we're going to have a look at the spells, show details, arts, and here it is. So when you're looking at this synergy, or not synergy but utility that you want to be bringing to battles, I'm talking specifically PvP, because PvE, it's kind of face roll right now, until they kind of release a boss mode or a tower mode, or one of the many different PvE events that they could bring to the game that could turn into specific game modes and so on and so forth. In PvP, you're looking for utility out of these blue cards, because otherwise you're just not getting your money's worth out of the 50 cost, right? So Blaster Shell here causes, yes, huge major explode damage, but it's the 15% more strike damage as well as 30% chance to inflict feint. This is huge, and if we go over to the Gohan, same thing. Again, we're looking for utility, 20% to your own strike damage. So while Broly's strike buff will go away if they switch out, Kid Gohan's will stay on you, right, as long as you don't switch out. So if you're in control, this is a great ability to have. And the last one that I was mentioning was 17, specifically because he brings something different, and I believe Krillin has the same thing, where people cannot dodge it, right? So if you're looking to kind of work around someone kind of dodging out of your dodge or something like that, if you use this card because you got baited or for whatever the reason is, this will essentially give you a chance at doing something. So the paralyzed there kind of keeps them from moving. They receive 20% more strike damage, so it's good for comboing up on, provided they don't just key blast you, to death. But yeah, just looking at utilities. So while I'm not kind of going to sit here and specifically tell you, oh, this card, that card, it's going to come down to your own preference, what you're used to, your fight style, and so on and so forth. So there's probably going to be a very, 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 very long maintenance. Let's all be honest here. I will apologize if they end up doing a very short maintenance, but I mean, at this point I'm kind of hoping that it goes long just so that we get those free crystals. But that being said, guys, we're gonna do a big summon to try and get as much as possible out of these banners that are most likely coming out, and hopefully we all get something good, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.